now, Tamara, let's get back to the issue we were talking about with Senator Roberts off the top, and that is this alleged birth certificate that supposedly, at least according to birthers, shows President Obama was born in Kenya. And joining us now from Tel Aviv is Orly Taitz. She's the attorney for the birther movement who just released this document. Orly, we went through and explained all the things that are wrong about the document, but I want to start with something else, and that is, first of all, the birth announcement in Hawaii. There were two of them, August 13th in the Honolulu Advertiser, August 14th in the Hawaii Star Bulletin, announcing the birth of Barack Obama. How could these birth announcements have been fabricated 48 years before President Obama possibly took office?
Absolutely.
How would they have the foresight to know that?
I just need to know how much time do I have. I had bad experience in CNN with Kitty Pilgrim, where
if you'll just answer my question, we'll give you plenty of time. But answer the question.
Okay.
Fine, but answer the question about.
In Hawaii, the way announcements were made in the newspapers, they had two types of birth certificates, and that's why we're demanding to see the original. One was a proper birth certificate from the hospital. Another was a birth certificate issued based on a statement of one relative only. It could be a grandmother or a mother.
That's fine, but Orly, you haven't answered my question. You haven't answered my question. What would be the motivation? What would be the motivation for Barack Obama's family?
If you're talking. Okay, you need to show some decency and integrity as a journalist. You need to explain. Need to give me an opportunity to explain. I cannot see you.
Orly, you can talk about integrity and discipline. Go for it.
So there were two types of birth certificates. One proper birth certificate from hospital, another that came from a parent. As a matter of fact, a parent could have just filled out a form and lied. If Obama was born in Kenya and the mother wanted to lie and she didn't want to go through immigration, she didn't want to pay an immigration attorney, she would fill out the form saying, my son was born in Honolulu, mail it or bring it to the health department. They take
so I get your point, but just so we're clear, so your allegation, Orly, your allegation here is that Barack Obama's family was somehow motivated to lie to Hawaii officials, including Orly. You got to give me a second here. I just want to understand.
You don't let me finish. No, I don't, because you are unable to listen. I didn't even get to the newspapers. Let me explain. Your listeners need to know the truth. They're sick of the lies coming from the mainstream media. 85% of American citizens are saying Obama was not vetted. He needs to be vetted. He needs to provide original birth certificates. The only one that are on the fringe are Obama's brown shirts in the media that insult people and would not let them speak out the truth.
Obama's brown shirts. You're referring to. You're making a reference, Orly, to Nazi Germany and to a lot of us who lost relatives in the Holocaust. That is deeply offensive. Your behavior is the offenses. You and Tamron Hall are behaving in an offensive manner. You're calling people names and you would not listen. You just called me names. You said this is a crazy movement. The only ones that are crazy that are listening to Obama's lies and would not listen to the word of truth. When the birth certificates were issued, they would go to a news agency in Hawaii News Agency, the proper ones, plus ones that were obtained based on a statement of one relative that could have been lying because she didn't want to pay for the immigration. All of them went to Hawaiian News Agency, which sent it to two newspapers, and that's how those announcements were obtained.
Orly, let me ask you quickly.
Therefore,
Orly, we've been fair and we've given you time, and I just want to ask you here. Hang on. Let's not go there. Ann Coulter, a popular with the right, says that this is foolishness and has called this movement, which you find, come on, and has called this foolishness and has referred to the birthers as cranks. What's your response to those who see you now? You're emotional, and I understand you believe this, but those who say you're crazy, that this is cranks, and that it is scary. What's your response?
I've heard you. All I hear from mainstream media are dumb insults. That's what you're providing.
Ann Coulter is not mainstream. She hates the mainstream.
The head birther, Russian emigre dentist and correspondent school lawyer Orly Taitz has found Barack Obama's Kenyan birth certificate and is trying to introduce it as evidence in a Florida lawsuit. Now, there are a few problems, but but only a few more than, say, a millionaire Nigerian prince's email. Orly Taitz and WorldNet Daily finally produced it yesterday. This piece of something showing Obama was born at Coast General Hospital in Mombasa, Kenya on August 4th, 1961. All right, a little detail. As sagely noted on a dozen websites, specifically Daily Coast, the city of Mombasa was not part of Kenya in 1961. It was part of Zanzibar in 1961. Didn't become part of Kenya until 1963. This bombshell, the Joseph Farah white supremacist crowd calls it a smoking gun, was supposedly issued by the Office of the Principal Registrar, Coast Province, Republic of Kenya, February 14, 1964. Oopsie. On February 14, 1964, Kenya was not a republic. It was still a British dominion. Its 1964 documents read the Dominion of Kenya. It did not become the Republic of Kenya until December 12, 1964. Also, the registrar who's supposed to have signed this, E.F. Lavender. E.F. Lavender turns out to be the name of a popular detergent, to say nothing of a brand of specially bred show geckos. Also, the registration number on the document, 44, the letter O, 47. Just a coincidence that Obama is the 44th president. His last name starts with the letter O, and that when this other fella, Ed Hale, says he obtained the document last September, Obama was 47 years old. But a lovely try, Miss Taitz, and very nice artificial aging the document. You've been a wonderful contestant, and please enjoy your parting gifts and this home version of the forgery game.